What was the acronym I came up with?
PATYS.
PATYS. Oh, yeah. PATYS. Okay. I think I came up with this acronym like 7 minutes before we filmed this episode. How long was the last episode?
12.
Okay, so 12 minutes before this episode got filmed, I came up with the acronym PATYS. And that's what we're going to talk about. PATYS. PATYS. What is PATYS? PATYS is P-A-T-Y-S. Pay attention to your stuff. And what do I mean by pay attention to your stuff? Well, you have figures on the board. You have starting areas. You have everything going on. Take a second and look at it. This all came about. Myself and Amber recently filmed a game, which should be out next week. Fingers crossed on data transfers and everything like that. And what ended up happening is I got to my starting area, and it took me 2 turns to be set up. Because I didn't pay attention to the way my figures were set up, and they weren't set up in a way that was optimal for my team, and that it cost me 2 turns. Now, in a more competitive environment, that would have cost me the game, because in competitive play, you have turn 1, be ready to do what you're going to do. Turn 2, do it. If turn 2, you're still getting ready on turn 1, it's too late. That is just the pace of competitive play. Any collectible game that you play, the first 2 turns can be critical. And it's all a matter of being ready to do what you need to do. In Magic the Gathering, you got to have your land, get your cards, get the play out. Right? Heroclix, make sure your figures are set up where they're going to be able to do things. You don't want your TKer stuck in the middle of 6 figures. They need a line of sight too. So unless there's a lot of elevated terrain on that map, that positioning is going to do them no good. They need a clear line of fire, not only to where they're going to send the figure that they're going to send out, but to the figure they're going to send out too. Right? But at the same time, you do have to be careful of that figure and protect them because, you know, things like your TK are an important element of the game. Anyway. So what I'm saying, guys, pay attention to everything you have going for you, as you know, from the starting position to the later in the game, knowing your powers. The same game, it looked like towards the end I had 3 useless figures. Turned out I did not. I actually had 3 figures who, working together, made individually great figures when they needed to be individually great. And that's something a lot of players tend to miss out on when it comes to preparing for the next turn of the game or later turns of the game. Sometimes players will get dissuaded or get down on themselves because something isn't going well. And in order to make that work in your favor, you have to know everything that's going on with everything on the board. You cannot just dismiss a figure because it has 3 clicks when you have 2 perplexers out there who can possibly help them out. Sure, if they get hit, they're going to die, but keep those defenses high. React when your opponent's overstretched. Being aware of what your team does at all times is an important element of paying attention to your stuff. Right? So, as a whole, guys, know what your team does. Click 1 to click last. If the figure has a dial on the back of the card, great. Use that when you're a little iffy on pushing. You know, but to the next degree, know what pushing is going to do for you, right? Sometimes we don't memorize the dial of the small figures. You know, that's what the back of the card thing is going to be useful for going forward. So, without any further ado, guys, pay attention to your stuff. Know what's going on with your team. Know what's going on with the map, your setup, everything. Just pay attention, because attention gets you there. And of course, practice helps you get your attention, and practice makes your team better. Made with Clix is brought to you by Majestic's Heroclix sales down Costa Mesa, California. Right now, they're in the middle of storefront change. In the meantime, don't forget to check out their eBay store. If you check the link down below, they always have great Heroclix stuff at fantastic prices, and they'll ship just about anywhere.